Yo, what's up, everybody? You dig, man. Hey, LaShawn, did you get the link out?
Okay, I got it right here.
I appreciate you, bro. Man, oh man, oh man. I guess, yeah, YouTube is doing what it do.
Hey,
Yes, well, people, man, as you can see, we got a special guest. Well, I got a special guest on deck. You know what I'm saying? I got Juan Bagnell on deck. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was so glad that you said we could jump in on this. I've been trying to join you on one of your live streams for a while, man. I'm glad we could make this happen.
Yeah, me too. And man, I'm glad you reached out. Like, hey, I'll jump in. Man, no problem. I'll take the day off for this event. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Team Pixel and made by Google, by the way.
Oh, and Eazy's asking for the link. I don't know if you hit him up yet.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he pulled over. I'm hoping he's not still driving.
Yeah, right. I know, right?
Stream and driving.
Let me go ahead and hit him again. I thought I sent it to him. All right. Man, oh man. And people, we also got King Pixel himself on deck. I mean, what's a Pixel string without King Pixel?
Hey, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So did you guys have like your various Pixel devices going off with all of the Google Assistant activation?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, dang
about
it.
this voice matching technology. I guess I'm just a sexy voiced pop star. To have my Pixel 4a also going off with that keyword or hot word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Every time they say, well, hey Google or whatever, it just ding. I'm like, oh, here we go. Ah, boy. Man, oh man.
Got way too many devices in this lab right now listening to me, and it's definitely it's like some what's the song? You know it feels like
somebody's watching me. Yeah.
So
why knows? Okay.
Let me give a shout out.
I wasn't gonna finish it in case like you got copyright dinged or something like that, because apparently Google can't tell my voice from pop stars. So you gotta watch it with YouTube.
Wow.
Well, you can carry a note, sir. You do sound professional. So yeah.
Well, thank you.
There you go. Yes, sir.
So, some musical theater in college, you know, somebody right.
All right, let me give a shout out to everybody's in the building. First guy on deck is Barry Johnson. What's up, dude? Yes, sir. Then we got Double A on deck. Aditya Anil. Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Hey.
Then we got Bob Imbordino, my fellow Bears fan. The Bears. Yes, sir. Then we got Mr. Tech Rant. Say Pickle Squad on deck.
Oh, hey. Trent's shouting out pickles. I like it. We got some mega pickles on deck.
I know, right? Oh, there he is. What's up, Tech Preacher?
What's going on?
You got it, man.
Not much, man. I like the nostril cam, bro.
Yeah. Hey, well, I had to go a couple of places, and I got to, we got to mask up everywhere you go, Gotta keep it safe. Gotta keep it safe.
Look at the screen. Don't look at the screen. What are you doing?
Right. Don't look down.
You're gonna end up in somebody else's trunk. But man, the event was today.
Yes, I watched the whole thing.
Bruh, Eazy, King Pixel.
Yeah.
Sheesh. What grabbed you guys about the event today?
I knew that Google was going to integrate and try to do what Apple does with like with Google TV, try to do an integration with everything. So that's what they did, and I like that. I mean, I know I've been getting notifications about my music to get switched over YouTube music, so I knew that was coming. And plus Stadia kind of got me. Hopefully it's out of beta, and we could play some games. And that's the I think that's also got me really excited. And hey, I've been waiting on the Pixel 4a 5G. That's one of the reasons why I didn't get the Pixel 4a, because I knew they were gonna come out with 5G. So hey, here it is.
Yes, sir. Man, oh man, how about yourself, Juan?
This is I'm very happy to see Google playing into their strengths, right? From Pixel 3a to Pixel 4a, this is their strongest selling segment. This has been the trickiest year for launching premium phones. Google took a lot of flack last year for having expensive phones, and I think this is the market where most consumers are going to be interested in that Google iPhone when they walk into a carrier store. So I'm on all fronts. I mean, we've got to play the price performance game. Samsung's got a strong offering with the Galaxy S20 FE, which is the immediate comparison point.
Mhm.
We've got A71s and Velvets and V60s on sale, and I think Google actually stands to cut through a lot of that noise just for being the Android company.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I totally agree. And King Pixel himself, holla at your boy. How
Yes,
about
sir.
you? What grabbed you, bro?
Man, what grabbed me about that event was that Google TV, because I was not expecting the Google TV thing. So that thing right there was pretty dope. And it got a remote control on the thing. Man, you know what I mean? That had me right there. And of course, you know, that Pixel 5, you know what I'm saying? That I had to do it, bro. So those two things had me excited. I was very excited, you know. So we're gonna see what it do, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Now, does anyone think it's kind of interesting? Like, Google played so hard for so long on Chromecast that it's just going to be a part of your phone, and you're just going to throw from your phone to your TV. That they're now finally making that twist to make a remote control, a proper UI, making it that kind of more consumer accessible experience.
Yeah, I'm so thankful for that, because that's why I gravitated towards the Roku, because.
Well, like my folks, totally on Roku, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like they finally listen to their clients and their customers and say, "Hey, look here, we got to go ahead and do something that works and give the customer what they want, which is a remote control." And then for the same great price of $50, you can't beat it.
Yeah, $50. I expected to be like, you know, what wasn't they 4K Ultra thing was like $80 or something like that?
Yeah, up there.
So I was expecting this to be around that price point with everything that it offers.
Right.
I'm thrilled about the speaker. The new speaker for $99. It had more bass and more volume.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm all on that one too. I think that was going to be spectacular. And plus, you can integrate a bunch of them, so you can kind of put them. You get 3 or 4 of them and put them all together, and they go synchronize. So I think that's dope. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah,
me too.
Party mode. You get about 6 of them. Party mode, man.
Facts. And then me being an industry music professional, the Google sessions, that was incredible. I said, wow, like 7 people recorded different parts of a song at different places at the same time. That's incredible. Wow.
Well, and then really leaning into Google as a software services company, right? You know, it's like, we're going to show you this phone, but we immediately got to talk about the services we're going to run for it. The hardware was less important than tying people together, you know, streaming music, streaming video, streaming gaming. Everything had that kind of correlating point, and then they were always bringing it back to updates and feature drops and new features and stuff like that. So again, I think Google doesn't land this well when they try and out hardware other competitors. They're not the hardware company. They're the software company.
Right.
And I just set off a bunch of pixels in my office. I'll let that ride.
No question about it. Yeah. The software is definitely the strong point, because this year I got my first Pixel and I saw what the big hurrah and what and all the hype was about
it's a unique
way it flows. You can't beat it. You can't beat the way that Android flows on the Pixel, just period, hands down. You know, so I got the budget device, so I'm really anxious to see what the 5G do. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't it have the same specs? 765 G processor in both of them?
Well, it has the 730. So the 4A,
Yeah.
do that slight step back, but I'm really anxious to see, because my Pixel 4A in a lot of head-to-head against phones with the 765 hangs right up with that slight performance bump. So I'm hoping that we'll see that again, where the 765 with Google software optimizations should give us a little bit of a bump over all of the phones that are currently running the 765.
Facts. Man,
would be dope. And 8 gigs around.
8 gigs around, so I know that thing is flying. I know it's
that thing got more RAM than the Surface Duo.
Yeah. Oh man, you stupid.
Like, is this a thing on your channel? Is that something?
What the Surface Duo? Let me see.
Ryan, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was about to get the Surface Duo, but I kind of waited until I could hear some trusted people before I picked it up because I mean it's a $1,600 investment. I mean, so the specs didn't wow me. Right, the specs didn't wow me, so I just kind of felt that hey, before I drop $1,600 on it, let me hear some of my trusted people. And I've been watching all your videos, and I'm definitely. I saw Erica Griffin video, and I was really intrigued on some of the things that she showed off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till it drop about $800, and I'm going to pull the trigger.
I'll be really curious to see. Microsoft might try and play the game. Surfaces don't price fluctuate.
That's true. That's true.
Tablets, and I this is why I'm being so precious with the Surface. Like my last video was, if you're thinking of buying one, let's have a conversation. This is a very unique feel. This is not the phone that you go out and recommend to folks who are just, I want to check my email and what's this WhatsApp I've been hearing all about. This is the best incarnation yet I've seen of Android as a tablet. I think Microsoft knows Slate computers. It flows a UI that's built for more of a tablet style interaction. And when you open it up and you're one hand using it just like a little moleskin, it's the thinnest, it's shockingly thin. There is a use case for this that I think is very compelling. But we've got to be very specific about the kinds of people that I think are going to be a good fit for this. It's not a specs race. And in fact, there are a bunch of things like the Snapdragon 855 in here is probably the right choice for having an on chipset modem. You don't have to deal with that shenanigan of having separate hardware peeled off for the 865. You can get away with having a slightly smaller battery. It's things like that really play into the nuance of what they're doing. But we're talking Pixel, and that's a very different.
Right. Oh yeah.
Getting to a mainstream consumer. Like I was in DMs, all during this keynote, during this product video, because I don't think techies really fully understand the consumer focus on Pixel and how this is a company where Google is outselling OnePlus in most of the markets that they compete.
That's right, brother.
Pixel 3a. These phones blew up Pixel for market share in a very significant way. So, we got one, lyrically outspoken, at least backing me up on the Duo. I'm saying it's so unique and it's so unfamiliar, but I'm it's funny talking about that in light of Pixel, where I think Google is going to help us redefine what a core services software focused Android phone should look like for 2020, and it's not going to be at $1,000.
Exactly right, brother.
Yeah, makes sense. You make sense.
I got a few more of my buddies in here too. So Matt with the hashtag some punchable face guy.
Man, I appreciate
He's just mad
that.
because on my subreddit I just beat him again for most popular posts. So Matt's just salty. It's fine.
Man. That's interesting. But thanks for the information on the Duo. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really trying to find somebody else with a nice review of it, thoughts of it, because people been bashing the hell out that.
Oh yeah,
that Duo.
It's really, it's like you just picked up a Pixel and you had a software focused experience, and that sets you apart. You can now point out, you can say, hey, there's a reason why you pick up a Samsung. There's a reason why you pick up a Pixel. And for most of the people that are bashing it, bashing a phone like the Duo, or I guess I should say a tablet like the Duo, it's primarily folks that got lazy. You sit there, you read the specs, you try and make the Duo work like a Galaxy, and of course it's going to fail. Of course it's not going to do that. You can't judge a fish by how well it climbs a tree. The people in my comments, and especially people that have been owning it, using it, we definitely can appreciate where there's room for improvement. There definitely needs to be some software polish and some updates, but we're already seeing evidence that Microsoft is handling that well. And the conversation today is radically different than the pre-embargo mess of a software issues that we had before you could actually buy it. And that's where techies, I feel, you can't just spec sheet it. A Pixel, you can't spec sheet a Pixel. You've got to kind of play with one. And if we're not giving other devices those kinds of considerations, then we might as well bag it, say smartphones are dead, and just everyone goes and buy a Sam Apple.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And speaking of Samsung, I think Google came at Samsung today because they filmed one part of the event with the Pixel 5.
Hey, we can do that too.
Oh, man. And it was crispy. I'm like, man.
I mean, it's always going to be tough to judge from a live stream. Like, how? Tell me, especially for you folk, for you guys being into music and stuff. Like, it's goofy when, oh yes, these speakers sound real great, and you can tell because we're playing it over a YouTube compressed stream.
Yeah.
Same thing with the video. I mean, again, I know Pixels have this rep for having not great video, but I've been shooting stuff on the Pixel 4a.
Yeah.
It's a cheap phone, $350, and it looks good.
Bro.
It looks so good.
Absolutely.
And again, it looks so good compared to like $400 iPhone SE and Galaxy A51s and TCL 10 Pros. Like,
yeah,
I can't spec sheet it. You gotta kind of dig in a little deeper than that, and I think you're rewarded for trying something that's a little different.
Exactly, I agree. That's why I did the camera review test with it the way I did it. You know what I'm saying? I had a professional photographer go over the specs and everything on how the pictures and the video look, and he said it was simply outstanding. It was surprised that it came out of a small, you know what I'm saying, phone like this or whatever. So when it comes to cameras on a budget phone, these cameras in this board right here are king supreme in the budget segment, for real.
Yeah.
And can hang up there with the flagships. I stand on it.
And isn't the Pixel 5 going to have 4K 60 now?
Yep.
So I'll be curious to see if we have any restrictions on that, because there isn't, as far as I know, there isn't any other 765 powered phone that does.
Okay.
So if this means we've got neural core in there, remember the Pixel 4, Pixel 4 and Pixel 4 XL have that co-processor just for chewing up image data. This thing is a monster. I do silly things like I render a lot of video from my phones. So far, I don't believe anything's beaten my Pixel 4 XL, and it's within spitting distance of a Core i9 with a 1660 Super running DaVinci Studio.
Wow.
When you match, you've got to spend around $2,500 to $2,600 on a laptop to properly beat what this thing can do in chewing up image data. So if Pixel 5 has anything like that in terms of smart algorithms and smart processing, better video compression, at the price, it's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on 1080p, they got 120 frames per second also. So even if you want to scale it down, you're still going to be that much more crispier than the other phones. That's going to be lit, bro. They really...
just really positive. I feel like a number of us are kind of in that burnout space. Yeah, I just held up a Surface Duo, and that's a $1,400 MSRP before taxes and accessories device, right? Realistically, Eazy is completely correct. You're talking about taxes and a stylus and cases or covers, and it gets real pricey real fast. And look at how over the conversation we were for the Notes this year. It's like Note didn't even ship before YouTube kind of decided that, well, we're kind of done talking about this phone. It's exciting. I mean, it's just watching the $400 to $600 space blow up in North America, where we've been kind of deprived of good competition. You know, like we don't get Oppos and Xiaomis and Realme. And we've got to import that stuff. This from 2019 to now has been so strong for reminding people that, you know, a streamlined communicator device that doesn't break the bank is really what people are going to be interested in.
That's a great point. Hey, Eazy, what do you think about the phone sphere, as I say, in 2020 so far, as far as tech go?
You know, at the user foldable phones, I'm so intrigued on the next evolution. We are in the next evolution. I love the way, like, you know, the Galaxy Z Fold Flip, the Galaxy Z Fold. Even when I had the first one, it was really good. I like what LG is implementing with the wing. So I think I'm so intrigued about that. Like I'm all over that. Like I think we shifting to another era of okay. We had slab phones for a very long time. Now it's time to maybe do a shift. Now we're still gonna have slab phones, but I think me using this is the Galaxy's Fold 2, and man, it's absolutely amazing, man. I've been having a good time with it. I've been using the pen. I got the Galaxy Note software on here, so I got my Galaxy Fold set up as a Note, so I can use. I'm using the pen support on it. I'm using Samsung Notes on it, and I'm doing my PDFs. I'm signing my documents all on the phone. So it's wonderful. I like it, really do. I think this is going to be the next evolution for me. But I did like what Google is bringing to the table, because they have to. They like, they can't just let Apple come out with all these services and stuff like that and not compete. I think the biggest thing right now is for Google is to get into that fear to compete with Apple, because Apple TV is phenomenal. I mean, they have to do something. And plus, Google owns YouTube, so why not get into the YouTube TV, YouTube Music, and all kinds of other things? I think that's going to be fantastic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt about it. And that's what I saw this year. I saw a whole bunch of different choices of phones to get. You know what I'm saying? It's like for different people. You got the flips, then you got the folds, then one bust out with the dual. Then the Pixels then step their game all the way up to me, because I always that was my only complaint about a Pixel. See, hold on, I got to put one on the big screen for this one.
So, again, to Eazy's point, we're this is my Duo with the stylus and a Bluetooth folding keyboard.
Wow.
And this is pricey, but this means most of what I need to do out and about, I don't need to take a $2,000 laptop with me.
Right.
And that's what we should be talking about. If you're looking at a Fold or a Duo or a V60 or a dual display or a Velvet, like, you should be able to displace another gadget purchase.
Absolutely.
And if you're still going to be doing most of your work from a laptop, I'm finding it more and more difficult to just recommend it's expensive because it's expensive normal slab of phone. I mean,
you bring up a good point, man.
Your functionality is so good in the mid-range now. If you have to have a 2-device strategy like laptop and smartphone, save a little cash, play that a little leaner, and I don't think you're going to miss some of those other bells and whistles. If you're really looking at a device that's going to help you leave a camera at home or a laptop at home or a tablet at home, and you want that additional functionality, I think there are good reasons to spend more, but I don't think there are good reasons to have 3 computing devices of varying screen sizes anymore. I think you can streamline now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What you about to say, Eazy?
I agree with him. I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm using, my foldable phones for all kinds of different things. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Let me put this a little closer.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So, I'm using my mobile devices, like I made a video about with Dex and I got a foldable keyboard that I use all the time to get a lot of work done. I mean, I use my foldable keyboard. This keyboard works great. I got it paired up with my device, and when I need to run high-end EXE programs, I can run Splashtop. I can run online servers. I can do all kinds of things straight from a mobile device, and I don't need a PC for that. I don't need a PC to do my payroll, my Excel spreadsheets, and stuff like that for my business. I'm at my business right now. And I'm going in there and I'm going to do some payroll. I mean, today Wednesday, I got to do payroll. Man, people ain't gonna get paid if I don't sign up. So I got to go do payroll, man, and I'm gonna do it right all on my phone. I mean, I'm gonna do payroll. I don't need a big bulky laptop. When I was at I was at Starbucks this morning. I was checking my stock, man. I'm up there, doing, making sure I'm making money. And I'm doing it all on a foldable phone. I'm doing it. These are these are no longer phones, man. These are tools and computers, man. These are things that people don't understand. Like people always associate cost with product. I look at it like this: you can't associate, especially what these devices can do. Like you look at a device that can do everything for you. A lot of people say, no, it can't. Yes, it can. I always debate with people. You name one or two things that you cannot do on a mobile device that you need a full-fledged PC. Are you doing any coding? No. So you're not making any apps. You're not doing any coding. What you doing? Web browsing, social media, photos, Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, PDFs. Okay.
Right.
You don't need a full-fledged
No, I'm sorry, Tech Preacher. There is one obscure 32-bit x86 application that I can't get to run on an ARM platform. No one could be looking. It's not a real computer. It's not. It's a phone. And because I can't do that, then it's not worth it for the monies. So I'm sorry, but you're obviously incorrect.
But why don't we get this in our comments a lot? People that never use the devices to the full of its potential. People don't use these devices to the full of its potential. They don't know about DeX. They don't know about Bluetooth keyboards and mouse. They don't know that you can explore. They don't know that you can run online exe programs on your mobile device, connected it to a server, online server, running applications. You can run VPN services. You can run desktop applications. You can run enterprise applications all on your mobile device. And it blows me away with but I got to have a laptop for that. I don't know what you're talking about. It won't never replace a laptop.
It's just like in my world, I'm a music producer. The evolution of music's hardware and stuff. It used to be big reels and tapes and stuff. Then it went down to ADATs. Then it went down to the computer, but you still needed some keyboards. Now it's just down to the computer. And now they're making software for the tablets and phones. Like so right there. Y'all see that? That is the future. So I see me getting a foldable in my future. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's real nice. Actually, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I've been sitting on this for just a little bit because I've been having to run through a bunch of phones. Like I do a bunch of performance benchmarks on real world apps. And the one I want to do next is I'm testing phones for how fast they can compress audio and make a podcast. So I can hook this up to my Focusrite, feed 2 microphones into it, record a 2-hour show with a guest, put in bumpers and ads, get all of those blocks set up, and then render out a really high quality MP3, upload that directly to my podcast catcher, and it's all here. It's all done on this. And it's actually compressing audio, with this outdated year-old chipset. It's compressing audio almost as fast as my workstation does. Killer. So we figured out audio. Audio doesn't need a ton of overhead. We just gotta, again, a few more virtual instruments, a few more plugins, a little bit better loop support. We're there though. We're there. It's crazy.
Absolutely, because one of my other sponsors, Initial Audio, they're gonna go ahead and give me the beta of their software for mobile. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll be really interested to see what they can do. Again, it's like we're not lacking for horsepower. You got a $400 phone in your pocket. You've got a mini supercomputer. Absolutely. It's nice to climb up and it's nice to get something more powerful, but what are you doing on your phone? Like to Eazy's point, man. I mean, like how many people do you see who still struggle with things like split screen? Picture in picture ain't the thing, man. When you've got a big, tall, skinny phone, just dock that video up at the top of your screen, and then you still have a normal phone screen underneath it. It's ridiculous that like we're still trying to get people to consider multitasking.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Like I know a good friend of mine, God bless his heart. He said, man, I got this iOS 14 update. They got a whole bunch of stuff and I don't know what it does. I said, what's the widget, man? Then when I showed him the widget, that makes things so much easier. I know. I know.
Mean, the education part of that, I totally get. But I mean, when I say things like that, I'm still talking about techies. It's like even just dragging people who claim or you would expect to be that little bit savvier and curious to dig into some of that stuff. Even that conversation is tough. Like you got so used to using your phone back in like Android Lollipop and you missed that. Like, we moved on. It's like there's other stuff to do.
Wow, stuck on lollipop. Like, what a
So
sucker.
bad.
You see comments like people who don't seem to have evolved out of like covering the basics and their worldview, their idea of what a phone is hasn't kept up, hasn't really kept pace.
Exactly. And Tech Ryan, thanks for the super chat. He said, so what you're saying is I don't need a maxed out $50,000 Mac Pro
Right.
and make $2. What? 52 Slack said, no, you don't. You don't have to do that.
I'm just saying, you know, Apple will be going with Apple Silicon. Trademark, copyright, Apple 2020, Apple Silicon.
Yes, no, you
Our
don't.
instruction set. So really, at this point, moving forward, mobile style processors. Obviously, you'll get more cores and more power, blah, blah, blah. Apps are about to blow up. Apps, not the full x86, you know, legacy programs for your operating systems. Apps are about to get real heavy.
But that's what it's all about, right? It's all about the apps, man. I mean, you think about it. At the end of the day, I think it's all about the apps, man. And even when you look at how laptops and full-fledged Windows PCs and what they're using the applications. Well, guess what's happening? The applications are now being scaled down into a mobile platform because mobile is where it's at. The desktop and laptop market is dying. Everybody's on mobile. They figured it out. Samsung has figured it out. Now you see Microsoft starting to get it. Hey, they want to get into the piece of the pie. I mean, because they are, hey, my phone ringing. Let's see. But yeah, so they get into the piece of the pie.
I'm real glad
at
he's
the end
not
of the
driving
day,
still too.
yeah, I'm not driving.
Super chat, shout out there.
Yeah, Double A said he can breathe easy. Knowing that you ain't driving no more easy.
No, look, and the crazy thing about it, my headphones, as soon as my phone rang. Okay, see if I can get back in it. I can hear y'all, but it's not my ears no more.
I don't know. I think the mics actually started sounding better. I don't know what.
Yeah, actually,
yeah. Right.
I wouldn't mess with it because you sound better.
Oh, the mic sounded better because I'm using the beans, the lives.
Oh,
them kidney beans.
Gotcha. The Goya beans on deck. Salute.
Right.
Lethal said, give him a Nola cake.
No, not Goya.
Right.
It's a different
Goya
podcast.
beans and rice. Oof.
That's not worth diving into.
Y'all, give me 1 second. I got to make a phone call. Be right back.
All right, boss man. No cool.
Okay, one of the things I wanted to throw out here, because it's commentary that I see a lot, that we can only sort of entertain phones at launch in the beginning of the year. How do we feel about Pixels coming October? I mean, I think they're in time for holiday season if someone's going to be buying a phone. Google's main talking point is longevity. Like, they're promising 3 years of software updates, feature drops, stuff like that. And the selling point is 5G, which for a lot of consumers, that's not going to be a killer make or break feature in the next year, or maybe even in the next 2 years. So what do we think about the timetable? I mean, if I have any concerns, I might think that,
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Google should release during the beginning of the year, like around March, April, something like that. Yeah, something around that line, and then probably hit us with something later, a little later in the year, instead of waiting for the year to go by and then another year of Snapdragon processors go by and Google stuck on like 3 years, a 3-year SoC that about to come out with the 4th generation, so.
Got you. That makes sense. Me, I'd be trying to shoot for May if I was them, you know what I'm saying? Because nothing really comes out of May except for with the stylo. Oh, that'd be a good.
Again, he overspent on his stylo 6. He's like, oh, what am I gonna do? I spent like $700 on a stylo 6.
Oh,
like,
man,
how did you do that? Because
exactly. So yeah. Exactly. So instead of waiting to iPhone season, yeah, they should scale it back to like April, May. No
Well,
question.
but it's interesting. I mean, like, because it seems like every company got hit with distribution, right?
Yeah.
No companies had an easy launch. Even Samsung, who controls the entire like manufacturing chain of screens and RAM and storage, even their Galaxy S20 launch was a little shakier than in years past. But even Apple, like, no mention of iPhone 12s during their last little keynote. Everyone seems to be kind of equally affected. But one of the reasons I bring this up is Pixel 3a, I think, is still a solid performer. Pixel 4 XL, Pixel 4, technically more powerful phones. That 855 and Neural Core should outperform the Pixel 5 on a 765. And if the Pixel 4 is getting feature drops.
Yeah, you make a good point.
Am I frozen?
No, you're not frozen. You're good.
I just like
not
bringing
at
up my panda.
I just got rid of my panda.
Yeah, the panda on deck. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. You know what I'm saying? But I got to give tech a chance. You know what I'm saying? Got to let it take do the talking.
Right.
I like you just pulling the kumbaya.
Yeah.
Forget about fighting Pixel 5 and Pixel 4.
Right. Exactly.
I like that. That's way calmer. That's pretty chill.
Exactly. Tech Brand said, isn't Google targeting the holiday season?
I mean, you want to be out ahead, right? You want to be out at least before November, at least a few units out in the market. I think they're expecting these to sell decently well. I bet you they probably had bigger sales forecasts for 4A. 4A was the priority to get that out first. Yeah. And now their 5G offerings, they're probably looking at more reasonable or lower sales forecasts for those phones just being slightly more expensive. But even then, I think their timetable is pretty smart. It's just interesting that, again, I'm focusing more on techies here. Well, I mean, who would go out and buy a phone if, like, in 4 months we're already going to get the next Qualcomm's and it's already an updated chipset, and I always need to be on the bleeding edge because that's what I exist for. But I only really play and check Facebook on my phone, so I don't need that processing power. That to me is always kind of strange. We act like there's a window where it's acceptable. And then if you miss that window, well, better luck next year. It's tough feeling that out.
But you know what trips me out? I think you got a difference between true techies and wannabe techies, right? I mean, you got to think about it. You got true
philosophy here. Okay, let's do this.
Right. All right. So the true techie love technology no matter what. They let it, like Ted always said, let the tech do the talking. You got two kinds of techies that love and embrace tech for what it is, right? Then you have the tech people that always complain or always say, well, I want to wait till next year.
Facts.
And so I think, I hear this a lot. Like people say, well, no, I'm gonna wait for the second generation or third generation. Every time that generation comes, I'm gonna wait till next year and next year and next year. And all of a sudden you think to yourself, well, how many years you gonna wait until you get satisfied of the product or the tech that you want? Because we know, like the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra came out, and we know in the next 2 months we got the Galaxy S21 coming out. So, I mean, what you going to do? You're going to wait, keep waiting and waiting and waiting. You got to be satisfied with the tech that you get. Like for me, I love all tech. And I'm a tech enthusiast. I study it.
That's right, bro.
I run it. I let it do its thing. And, at the end of the day, when I get, we get these comments, people DM you and all that stuff, and they tell you about, this is trash, that's trash, that's trash. And 90% of them don't have the product. And that's the whole thing. It's hard to call a product trash when you don't own it. That's the thing. It's hard to call something trash when you don't own it. And that's what, we talk about this a lot. Like, hey, do you, and I put in the comments, a lot of people hit me in the comments, that's trash. Okay, do you own this product? No, but I've heard and I saw.
I wouldn't buy it because I made a wise purchasing decision for my one phone for the next 3 years. And I would totally buy this experimental phone if it were worth it for the monies and could make me a ham sandwich and like do my taxes. But you know, I went with what I was familiar with, and so that's why the phone. Actually, Trent, I mean, if you want to pull up his comment, I mean, I feel like that's one of the most germane issues facing tech reviewing right now is, like it's like we're beholden to popularity metrics.
But isn't it for us tech reviewers, like real tech reviewers that do videos, right? It's up to us to give the information out to the consumer. You know, like if something is bad, like when I make a funeral video about a product, it's bad. Like it's done. Like it's a canceled Christmas device that was really bad, like the butterfly keyboard. That was my last funeral video I did. They canceled it. It was a bad product. Apple realized that. They owned up to it. They made sure that the next product came out was better. They didn't use the butterfly keyboard.
Right. So it took a while to figure it out, which is
right. It took them a while to figure it out.
Frustrated with butterfly keyboard.
So, you know, I think the evolution of technology is that, you know, hey, right now I think we're in a crossroad. We're in a crossroad of, you know, companies realizing that phones are fast. All right. But what are we going to do the next evolution of phones? I mean, we getting beyond phones. I mean, do anybody even make phone calls anymore? I mean, I don't make a phone. I haven't made a phone call in so long. Everybody texts, social media. I mean, when I talk to my employees, man, I'm texting them. You know, they get their paychecks through, you know, direct deposits. Nobody don't call each other no more. So I mean, the phone itself is kind of phasing out more into the more feature set of what it can do, what that phone could do to A, make money for you, B, something that's easy to make your life easy. These phones and this product's supposed to make your life easy. Like I got this phone sitting right here. I got y'all guys on. I can read the comments. This makes my life easy. This is easy for me. Like I can sit there and I can type and I can, you know, do all my stuff. This is easy. I mean, I can sit up there and do my payroll, and this is easy for me. Yeah, of course, it's a $2,000 product, but you know what? I make money on this thing.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? So,
yes, sir. No question about it. And just life in general. It's like we carrying less cash than ever now. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I don't carry cash at all.
Easy, me and you sell stuff for a living. So I got more swiping and tapping instead of reaching with some cash for real.
So I'm actually in my new building. I kind of showed this off on one of my chats, but this is my new building because I already have my first business. This is another business that I'm doing. So right here is just an office space. I got a lot of boxes and stuff like that. So this is my second office here that I'm doing. So this is gonna be my strictly online office right here. So I got this building along with my other building. So this whole complex right here is almost owned by me. So I got my retail store on the other side of this building, but this space right here is going to be for meetings and online and stuff like that. So I'm working with this space right here and doing some stuff. And hey, I love it. I don't have nobody don't mess with me. I'm in my office. I got my door locked. I got my AC on, and I got all my computers sitting up here, and I'm good to go.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So the gentleman's club in that space is out of the question now.
Well, just after dark.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a question for you guys working retail. Has there been any chatter on using things like QR codes instead of NFC, like tap and pay? And I think Samsung actually kind of created a bad habit where people are like rubbing phones on credit card terminals in this age of social distancing.
You get the mag stripe going. Yeah.
Well, the thing that
if you ever do take a phone call might get rubbed up against your face, you just rub it on a credit card terminal and just get all that on there.
I think I think my only issue that I've been having in my retail stores is Samsung Pay. Like Samsung Pay don't want to work that well. Now, Google Pay will work.
You're right. Apple Pay be right on point. That sounds.
Yeah, Apple Pay will work. Google Pay will work, but Samsung Pay is iffy. Like sometimes Samsung Pay doesn't work in my terminals.
I agree.
Gotcha.
Same here. Yeah, most of my clients like tap or pay Apple Pay or just pay with a credit card or whatever, a debit card.
Have you guys seen anyone use a watch? I haven't seen anyone use a watch.
Yeah, they use
Two
Apple
times.
Watches all the time. They use Apple Watches. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's actually working.
I
It's
get that
working
a
well.
lot.
I'm gonna try to use my watch when I go to the store.
might as well. King Pixel.
I feel
Exactly.
like that not invited to the cool kids table when I'm sitting there and wiping a watch and trying to do like the techie stuff, because everyone just looks at you like, why are you doing that?
Why, man?
I mean, it's so cool when you go to a grocery store and you got your groceries and all of a sudden you tap your phone on the terminal, boop, done. You're
Yeah.
like, wow. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. I like it. You know, when you just put a phone right there on the terminal, and all of a sudden you pay for everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty
and
dope.
thanks Zach Talks Tech for the super chat. He said he's impressed. The Pixel Vive competes well with the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. The pricing is amazing for Canadians.
Yeah, this
$7.99.
is actually huge, because I know, like, especially in United States reviewers, we've got a very singular idea of how much things cost, and those regional differences are extreme. And Samsung is obviously targeting USA with the FE.
That's
And
right.
they're not getting the same kind of consideration, our neighbors to the north, for that same kind of price performance. That conversation changes up a lot. You're talking a $200 price difference.
But
Wow.
Samsung.
Oh, not
did
200, like $150 price difference. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, so Samsung did two things with the FE. Samsung wanted to fix some of the daring issues that in the problems that they had with the Ultra, the Galaxy S20 Ultra. So I believe they fixed that. Also, but as far as price, the price point, I think that's the whole Achilles thing right there, is that, hey, we're gonna have a device, and most carriers or most places right now selling the phone for $599. They already knocked $100 off. So at $599, I mean, now it's competing in, a lot of different territory. I mean, God, you could say bye-bye to OnePlus at this point, right? I mean, OnePlus, they went with the high
I
end
don't think
price.
you can outright say goodbye to OnePlus. I
Well,
mean,
not really, but I
not
would
really,
say
but-
that hurts OnePlus.
well, so this is what I thought was a little frustrating when the OnePlus 8 and the 8 Pro launched, is people got used to thinking of them as the budget brand, and they weren't comparing price performance. And again, it's like a OnePlus 8 Pro that caps at $999 is a very different conversation than a Galaxy S20 that starts at $999. And I still feel like there could be something interesting or competitive, but it's like getting out of that mindset. You remember back in the day when you're like, oh, well, my Mac runs so much better than my Dell, as if the brands and the labels were all that mattered. And then you'd say, well, how much did you spend on your Mac? And you're like, $2,000. And how much you spent on your Dell? $350. And you're like, well, yeah, there's a reason why your Mac performs so much better than your Dell. And I feel like OnePlus got burned by that. OnePlus is cheap. Oh, I can't handle a OnePlus that costs more. Right. And I get to do big wavy arm strawman voice for techie complaints. But it's interesting now seeing where at the beginning of the year, a OnePlus 8 for a 5G offering was a pretty good price buy. Man, 5G fell fast in 2020. So if you were worried about carrier compatibility and getting those 5G radios, like now getting into the end of 2020, we've got some real good mid-ranger options.
Yeah.
And I think when OnePlus came out with $1,000 phone, man, I think that hurt them really bad. I mean, coming out with the OnePlus 8 Pro,
monster. I mean, literally spec for spec. Tell me what competed against the OnePlus 8 Pro at $999. And you fight an amazing price performance run, but people wanted a OnePlus label to be 50% of an iPhone 11, and that's never been what OnePlus is.
No. Yeah. Not at all. They was on they started out being a Samsung with the flagship killer.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, think about it. Like, even when people would say you get like 80% of the phone for half the price, that's actually never been true. Back in the day when you were even talking like $399 for a OnePlus, that's when you could get Galaxies on carrier deals for like $150. It's really never been that gig. It's always been the perception, but that, as we know, that's just marketing. That's not the reality of it. And so, the OnePlus 8 Pro kind of still has that little special place in my heart, because it's this monster performer. It's got a really unique camera sensor. It's got the reverse wireless charging. It's got the IP rating. It's got one of the only screens that does high refresh at full resolution. It doesn't scale it back like a Samsung. It's got monster performance. It's got really sleek software. It's got more RAM than you can really use on a phone, bit for bit for bit for bit for bit. There really isn't anything that went head to head. Now you can get Samsungs on sales, but when they came out, that was a good showdown. It wasn't just OnePlus label equal cheap, because that's lazy.
Right, exactly right. Yeah, you're right. Spec for spec for spec. Yeah, they was on top of the game with it, no question about it.
They just fumbled the messaging because they couldn't get out ahead of what people thought of the brand.
Right. All right, Ted asked a question. Which is better, the Pixel 4 at 650 or a Pixel 4a 5G?
Wait, Pixel 5? Wait. Pixel. Oh, you talking about the original Pixel 4?
Yeah, like I was saying, going last year, this is tough. If you want processing power and you want neural core, you got to give up the wide angle camera and you got to give up 5G. But this thing is still one of the fastest video and photo phones on the market. I mean, it is just insane what Google can do with image data. It's a battle.
Question. I mean,
you gotta pick your.
I always. I'm sorry. I didn't want to talk over you.
Oh no, yeah, I'm good. I was trying to shut up fast so you can jump in.
So one of the questions is like, for me, I buy tons of phones in the used market. There's no way I'll pay $650 for a Pixel 4. I mean, more like $400 and maybe $350, maybe possibly in the used market. I mean, the used market for a Pixel is cheap. I wouldn't buy a Pixel new. I mean, I just be me. I got the phone soap, and I buy 90% of all my phones on the used market. I mean, I got over 130 phones. So, I mean, I don't have any issues in the used market. I mean, I know a lot of people kind of iffy on the used market, but me, the used market has been a total success for me. Between Amazon Renew and Swapper and other third-party companies, it's been a dream. I mean, I've saved 50% off of retail of basically brand new phones. So I mean, when I look at phones that been, especially the Android market, I mean, we know how the Android phones depreciate by 40-50% in 6 and 7 months. So when I look at
Yeah. And people, did you notice that he said over 130 phones so casually?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's nothing.
I stopped flexing my phone.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit gauche. Do I need to pivot the camera? I've got a bookshelf. It's really gross. I mean, it's actually kind of a fire hazard now. I'm really worried about.
Yeah, you know what? One of the biggest reasons why I accumulated so many phones over the years is because of the depreciation of the device. A lot of phones that I bought years ago was brand new. It's no way I'm gonna spend $1,000 on a phone and 2 years later you sell it for $200. So I keep it. That's what I'm saying. So that's been my issue. I keep phones because.
But to Ted's point though, and I think this is one of the most important things for us to kind of acknowledge, is we've got a multi-layered conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching a stream like this, you're probably savvy enough to jump on refurbs and Swappa and services like that. I feel we don't do a good enough job, and we're not really being listened to by these general consumers out there in the market who walk into a carrier. There's someone right now who's about to spend $1,300 on an iPhone 11 Pro Max. They're gonna go into a carrier store and they're gonna get a good deal on a leasing program where they're going to pay full price for that device over the life of owning it. when we're right on the cusp of that not being worth what they're going to lease it for. And so that's another part of this conversation. So when someone like Ted is out there saying like, hey man, I don't want to buy, not everyone wants to own a used car. Maybe you want to be the first one to peel that plastic off the screen. Totally appreciate that. You're going to talk about MSRP on a 1-year-old phone. That's a part of this conversation too, where I feel we haven't done enough to acknowledge the reason why a phone comes out at $1,000 is so that it can look like it's a really great deal that you're only going to spend $45 a month. We know that this stuff depreciates fast and that by the time you're 6 months into that lease, you're way upside down on the value of that product. Yep. But that message isn't getting out there. The marketing is overwhelmingly more powerful than what we can say on a variety of YouTube channels.
And I agree with Tech Rand. He said that's that T-Mobile look.
Oh, that T-Mobile lock.
Lock.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? It's the T-Mobile look, funny. And they got you on lock.
Right. But what's so funny to a lot of people just don't understand is that, if you get like a brand new phone from a carrier and you get insurance, right? And something happened to your phone and you file your insurance claim, you pay your deductible. The phone that they give you is not going to be a brand new phone. So
refurbished.
Yeah,
it's the refurbished phone. So
they can't even give you the same phone. My dad lost his Pixel 2 and goes into the AT&T store and they're like, I don't know, we've got this Galaxy S8 sitting in a box. Do you want that? And he's like, well, I need a phone. I mean, that was the extent of this. I'm paying for this insurance and I'm going to protect my gadget and my investment. And you're like, nah. No.
I mean, not getting, and I think a lot of people don't understand. They figure that, I got insurance, so if something happens to my device, they're gonna give me a brand new phone. Don't work like that.
Nope.
No, not at all. Oh boy. But Eazy, you predicted it. $2,000 phones. We are here.
I said yes. I said it. I said it about a year and a half ago. I said we're gonna be at $2,000. And then I talked about it yesterday on my stream. I said $2,000 go probably come close to the norm, especially for a flagship, a luxury, premium devices or whatever. But they're gonna have the mid range and the low end devices at a good price. So it's gonna be a win-win for a consumer that's going to get a good value device at a very good price, especially when you get, the A lineup, the FE lineup, the Velvets and stuff like that. Those are the devices going to be, below the $500 price point that's going to give you good bang for your buck. Now, for the flexes out there, for the people that just want to say, I got the Galaxy Z Fold and don't use it to the full of its potential, those are the ones that going to spend $2,000 for those phones. It is what it is. That's what
don't you feel like that took a hit this year just because of shelter in place? What's the point of buying the flex phone if I can't go out and flex?
Yeah, right. So you can't go and flex on me, right.
Crazy.
Flexing on yourself.
Right. Yeah. Just I'm video calling you from the phone that I'd want to show you that I own. That's very expensive.
I am in tent mode. Right. Right.
I think
you can't see it because the web camera is not that great.
Yeah, I think for most consumers, what Google is coming out with Samsung with the FE, with the Velvet. Oh my goodness, the Velvet with the dual display is absolutely marvelous, right? With those, type of devices, I think it gives a consumer better bang for their buck.
Right.
What I really like about that, and I think the data has been backing it up for a while. Pixel 3a got panned on its early launch, and then a bunch of techies had to eat their words. And there were a few of us out there saying, you don't get it. We don't get all of those cheap Chinese options. And here in the United States, we're hungry for some more competition in this sphere. We had it, kind of leading into iPhone SE, Pixel 4a. Those are the phones. Galaxy A51 was the phone that saved Samsung's ass in the first half of this year. That phone the A series grossly outsold S series, and now Fan Edition coming in to wrap them up at the end of the year for something, if you want something a little nicer, and you can handle some of these compromises that aren't really compromises,
not at
off
all.
of the main Galaxy S20. So again, if you're a savvy shopper, if you're in this live chat, you know how to go and find a Galaxy S20 Plus for around the same price or less than an FE. No issues there. But what about your aunts and uncles who are going to walk into that carrier store and have some guy trying to make a quota or trying to get spiffs on a specific model or a specific manufacturer? They're not going to know how to finagle all of that. They've got better options now.
That's
from
right.
a Pixel to an FE to an whatever iPhone 12 we get. I mean, I'm not 12 Pro Max, blah, 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 blah. I'm much more positive on Apple in the mid-range and in the lower mid-range. This is a really exciting time for consumers to cover their tech needs and not get wrecked in the wallet.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So look, I got to run. I got to finish doing a few little things to get ready for Wide Wednesdays. I live across town, so all my business is in the city, and I live on the other side of town. So I got to finish up here and get myself ready for the big stream. Juan, you are definitely invited if you want to come down, and we could have us a good chit chat tonight. If you want to come to Wide Wednesday, the invitation is open for you, sir. We can continue the conversation and go from there, man. But
looking forward to it, man. I'll try and jump in on that.
All right.
Crazy.
Appreciate that. Thank y'all everybody for coming. And I had to go look. I was live streaming yesterday about me dealing with the city. Oh my goodness, man! I had to deal with the city of New Orleans yesterday, and I bought a big fat checkbook with me, and they wanted every penny of it too. God, it is.
Gave him the briefcase.
I gave him the briefcase yesterday, man. It's very difficult to go down there.
That's why you need to roll up with a Pixel 3a, man. You roll up with like that folding phone, and they know. And they know you got some deeper pockets.
Right.
It's so funny. I had to get my I had to renew my occupational license at one of my locations. Oh my God, it was bad. Man, it's
like Eazy. The next
it's rough.
Is like, well, here, let me check on that information with my TCL 10L. That's
no.
It's only LTE. It doesn't have the 5Gs on it. Hold on one second.
Right. Well, I was about to wrap it up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been over an hour, and man, I appreciate all you guys being on the panel, sharing your thoughts at the Google event, amongst other things in tech and everything. Juan, salute to you, bro, man. I'm
so stoked. Seriously, man. I mean, like, I love watching your channel. I've got your stream. I'm lurking most of the time you're streaming. And like, I was like, I really want to make a live stream happen. And we kept missing each other. So I'm glad this one worked out.
Yeah. All praises. And Eazy, my guy. You know what I'm saying? The tech preacher. You know, I'm the tech digging. Hey, tonight is your night, Wired Wednesday. I'll be on deck. And thanks for coming on this panel with us, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And also King Pixel himself, LaShawn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for gracing us with your good presence, sir.
I appreciate you, man.
Dilly. Well, all right, everybody, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Team lit. Be easy.
Sí, señor.